welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Wolves 3, Everton 0. A disappointing day at Molineux for the Toffees. And more importantly, ruining the grey kit. You've just ruined the grey kit. It was having a cracking run and you've ruined it. The XG of that kit has now been destroyed. Which is, I think, the most disappointing thing of today. There you go. There you go. Let's get into it. Jordan Pickford, very unlucky with that first goal, by the way. Brantwaite nearly scoring an own goal. He made a good save from that, and then he clawed it off the line, and then we didn't react quick enough, and he's been punished. Got lucky late on in the game when he kicked the ball straight to one of their players, but luckily enough, they were offside. Made 4 saves in the game. So, yeah, I would give him, even though we conceded 3 goals, I would give him 7 for today. Nathan Patterson, I just mentioned that first goal there. Don't think he reacted quick enough. In that moment, I thought he was poor for, was it the second goal? I can't remember now. Yeah, I don't think he had a particularly good game either. Normally benefits a lot from playing in that system, but the 2 wing backs today were more like full backs, and it just didn't work. We never got forward on either side. 1-2 of his 4 ground duels, tackles 2. That was pretty much it. Yeah, just show you his heat map. There's his heat map for the game. So red areas in the centre part of the pitch, which is, I suppose, where you'd find a wing back, but I'd like to have got forward a little bit more. Nathan Patterson, 5.7 for the game. Mykolenko, I think he did a bit better actually. I thought he had. I don't think he was himself as such, but I thought he was more himself than other players. His heat map there, as you can see, a lot more into their half and a lot more defending on the edge of our box as well. A lot of red spots there for him. 1-5 out of his 5 ground duels. Clearances 3. And was a lot, as I said, a lot more like himself. Not fully himself, and that can be difficult when a lot of the team are poor. But I thought he was more like himself today. So I would give him a 6.8 for the game. James Tarkowski won 3 of his 6 ground duels, won 2 of his 3 aerial duels, but just didn't look himself today. Looked a little bit off it. Not quite winning those tackles that he normally wins. Not great for the again, I keep on getting confused with the goals. For the, I think it was the second goal at the back post. Just didn't look himself. I'll say that for quite a few players. Just didn't look himself at all. Passing wasn't great. 79% pass accuracy. Just didn't look himself at all. So James Tarkowski, I would give a 6 today. Just show you this heat map there. A lot of red spots. Yeah. Michael Keane next to him. Again, the 3 at the back just didn't work today. They just never looked comfortable. Just never looked comfortable at all. Rabbit in the headlights day for him. Did win 4 out of 4 aerial duels. Only 2 of his 6 ground duels. Passing was off. 60% pass accuracy. He just never looked. This games isn't where he looks comfortable. And today, he just never looked comfortable at all. I think was it the second goal he got skinned for, when really we should have made the change before that. Yeah, but didn't have a great game. Didn't have a great game at all. Michael Keane. So I would give Michael Keane. Do you know what? I think I forgive James Tarkowski too much there. Probably. I'll give Michael Keane a 5.5. Jared Branthwaite won 4 out of his 4 ground duels, 1 out of his 2 aerial duels. Clearances 5, interceptions 2, tackles 2. Not at his calmest today. Obviously on that left-hand side. I'm trying to think if that's it's not the first time he's played in the 3 at the back, but obviously he didn't play at Burnley. Obviously predominantly on the left-hand side. And we do look so much better in a back 4. I understood why he went to a back 3 to try and get the extra body in midfield. I think obviously Tarky and Branthwaite prefer it. But we've done that today to try and get those 2 into midfield. It didn't work. And it's probably give them the space to allow them to run at us, and obviously they're more used to playing in that system. But we never looked comfortable in it, and it's meant all of our players looked a little bit uncomfortable. Nearly scored an own goal, didn't he, Jared Branthwaite, but a good save from Jordan Pickford. So I would give Jared Branthwaite, I'd give him a 6 as well. Into midfield, James Garner looked so tired today. Looked so tired, although his passing was really good. 93% of his passing. But he looks so tired. Won 6 of his 11 duels, ground duels, and 1 out of 1 aerial duels. But he just looked so tired. He was didn't look like there was any kind of pressing from him at all. And he just was on the fringes of the game, even though he's won a half of his ground duels, which wasn't bad. But he was just on the fringes of the game all the time. 62 touches, I said 93% pass accuracy. No shots, no dribble attempts. Yeah, just a very meh game from him. There's his heat map there. So I give James Garner a 5.9 for today. Next one, Onana. Again, I said this the other day. Looks like he's carrying an injury. Looks really sluggish on the pitch. Did make one really good through ball to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was offside, but he just looks quite sluggish. 72 touches, 85% pass accuracy. Won 6 of his 12 aerial duels, 1 out of 1 aerial duel, but just not enough dominance from either of them. Just not enough aggression. And I'll use that word a little bit later for one of our players as well. Just not enough aggression, not enough control from the pair of them. We never had the ball enough to. Oh, sorry, we never have the ball enough, but just looking at this, we had 40%, maybe we had too much possession again, 40%, 47% possession, but we never did anything with it. And we are a team that look better when we don't have more of the ball, and then we catch them on the counter-attack, but we just didn't have the energy to do that today. I know Onana was down for a period in the first half, wasn't he? And he just, I don't know, as I said, he got a knock against City, and he looked poor for the rest of that game, and he just never looked on it today at all either. So Onana 5.8 for me. Jack Harrison played, I'll just show you this heat map here. Played too wide, and I think that was another issue today. Was Jack Harrison and McNeil for me were too wide because the wing backs weren't getting high enough, and therefore it gives them more space in midfield. And I don't think that was a major issue with it today because we weren't playing 3, we were playing 5 at the back. We needed to play 3, have the wing backs getting higher, and then allowing Jack Harrison and McNeil to come inside. But you've seen there, Harrison's heat map, he's far too wide. He needs to be cut. Those two needed to sit right in ahead of Onana and James Garner, not only to help those two out, but to get us forward as well. That was the reason I picked the three at the back when I did my starting 11, was for them to play like that. But they just never played like that at all. And as I said, you see from his heat map there, he never got central enough. 49 touches, 74% pass accuracy, 4 crosses non-accurate. Ground duels, he won 4 out of 6 ground duels, no aerial duels. But though him and McNeil had to be a lot more central, and they just weren't. McNeil was a bit more central, but see, and it was weird because I thought Harrison would have been a lot more inside than McNeil, because McNeil was over on the left, and Michalenko doesn't go. Well, you wouldn't think he would go as high as Nathan Patterson, but he obviously did. Nathan Patterson had to be a bit more adventurous and get higher up the pitch. So Jack Harrison, I would give a 5 for today. McNeil, just show you this heat map there, as you can see, he has come inside a little bit more. He has helped out a little bit more, but that's what Harrison had to do to get us to play, to stop the way they play. I think that was one of the major reasons it never worked. We just got overrun in midfield far too many times. They picked the ball up. A lot of times us giving them the ball, and they just started running through us. 49 touches, 81% pass accuracy. Shot, he smashed one in the second half, didn't he? He hit the bar. Dribble attempts, 2, both successful. 2 out of 6 round duels, 1 out of 1 aerial duel. Dwight McNeil, I would give a 6 today. Just him and Harrison just didn't have enough influence on the game at all in the attacking areas to get us going. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I'll just show you this heat map and you can see what the major issue is. And you see the heat map. There's just none of it is in their box. There's just none of it in the box. It's all outside the box. It's an issue with him and it's an issue with the team. I thought we should have gone longer earlier in this game. I thought we should have gone long to Dom and tried to feed off the bits. I thought we were getting caught too much in midfield and just trying to play clever passes. I think we should have gone long earlier, quicker, and just played off the bits. We didn't force them back. We didn't have a high enough line, and that you've seen that with the heat map. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was far too not high enough. I'm trying to get my words right. Not high enough in their back line, giving them an easy day. He's had a chance at 1-0 where he didn't really try and dink the keeper. He's put it wide. If he dinked the keeper, then obviously if he hits the target, he's got a better chance of scoring. My major issue, and I like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I think he's a good player. And I don't think Beto is at the stage where Beto's going to be starting every single game. I think that's the way you should look at it. Is Beto ready to start every single game? Does he make enough? Does he influence the games enough? Dom's in a wretched run of form. But the one thing more than anything that annoys me about Dominic Calvert-Lewin is he's just so passive. There's no aggression. And he has to find an aggression to his game if he's going to. I mean, I don't know. He's never going to be he's never going to be a top striker. He's 25 and he's just missed 2 massive years, really, of development. We're going from a player that looked on the edge of being a top player who's in the England squad for the Euros, and he's just missed those 2 years where he had to sort of keep that going. He's just missed that massively. So he's never going to be a top striker. But if he wants to be somebody who influences a game when things are not going your way, he has to be more aggressive. He has to not lay one on people, but be willing to do the hard yards, to get in people's faces, to attack the ball more, to not rely on other people to make the chances for him. And something that does annoy me about him is when he's not in a game. He's not in a game. He has to do more to get himself into games. I think otherwise, he will lose his place. Better will improve. Better will start getting more game time. And he'll lose his place. And there's no point in feeling sorry for himself because he hasn't scored or whatever. He has to get more aggressive. And if there is, strikers miss chances. I mean, he doesn't have lots of chances. He's had one today, and he should have done better than the one he was offside with. He should just take a touch and put that past the keeper. He's had a couple of chances against Spurs. He's had one against City. He doesn't get lots of chances, but he has to start working harder to create those chances for himself. That's something that's got to come into his game more. If he's worried about getting injured, well, that's just the way it is. He's played half a season now, and he's only been injured once, and he was out for one game. He just, for me, that's something that's hugely missing about his game, is that side of him, that aggression that you see from players who may have lesser technical ability, but they make, and this is something I think people like about Beto, is that he doesn't give up on anything, and he gets in the face and he tries to make things happen, and because he tries to make things happen, things do happen. And that's like a hunger you can see in Beto, and that's where a player, I think, that has come from nowhere and has got to somewhere, you have to have. And I think Dom, you've seen that in Dom when he was younger, and he's probably had those edges taken off of him. But I'd love to see that back in him. I'd love to see that little bit of horribleness that I just don't think is in his game. We all want to see our centre forward run round and knock centre backs about and leave one on someone now and again. Dom's the type of person who to foul someone and then say sorry and help them up. And I don't know. That is something. If I'm going to be critical of him, that's the one thing I'd be critical of. Just be nasty. Leave one on someone now and again. And if they want to get involved with them then. That's something for me. Because I think if you put the hard work in, the rewards will come. And don't get me wrong, I don't think he's not working hard. It's just that side of him is frustrating to me. It really is. As I said, he had a good chance at 1-0 there to at least get it on target and test the goalkeeper. He's had no shots on target, one shot off target, 29 touches. As I said, I want to see that aggression from my centre forward. And as I said, I think that's why people look at Beto and say, well, I prefer that kind of someone who's willing to run all day. And as I do think that 2 years, he's development wise is a big 2 years. He never kicked. He had a big season under Carlo, scored goals, and he's never kicked on from it because he got injured right. I mean, in that first season he scored 3 in his first 3. And he's never kicked on, never had the chance to kick on from that. Seamus Coleman, good to see him back on the pitch. 2 ground duels, 1 out of 3, no aerial duels. Touches 24, 83% pass accuracy. He did alright when he came on, and it's good to get that experience and get another player back in the side, and that's important. That's really important. We've missed having the opportunity to have another player in there to alter Ashley Young massively. We've missed him to not be able to play him, say, right midfield in games. But it was good that Seamus was back today. I'll give Seamus a 6. Andre Gomez came on. Obviously, manager didn't think he had enough to start the game. Played 30 minutes or so, 18 touches, 3 ground duels, none won. That's his heat map there. Listen, I don't know whether he had enough. I don't know whether he had enough to start the game. As I said, he's just played 60 odd minutes. Played 60 odd minutes in 2 games after not playing since for Lille since the back end of last season. So, you know, a couple of pre-season games. So I don't know what he's got in the tank and what he hasn't got in the tank, or whether he could start a game and play 60. I don't know. I don't know is the answer to that. I really don't. The manager didn't feel like he had enough. He didn't do much against Man City, arguably against one of the best midfielders in the world. So it's always hard to know, isn't it? It's always hard to know. So I'll give Andre Gomez a 6. Beto played the last 13 minutes plus stoppage time. 13 touches. His heat map is very, very concentrated over on that right-hand side in the corner. No shots on target, no shots on off target. Again, that says it all about the centre forwards just not getting into the game because they're not getting any service. You know, we can sit here, we can slag them off all we want, but if they're not getting any service, it's very difficult for him, and he hasn't had any opportunities today, really. He's had 13 touches, and he's, again, another player. Look at his heat map, not in the box. 2 centre forwards, neither of them anything in the box at all, basically. And I think that's a major issue that we've got without Decore. That's a major issue. Without Decore, we don't have anybody getting behind the centre forward and scoring the goals. And we're lost without him. We are lost without Decore. He hasn't played since the first half against Burnley. And we've done very little in that time. We sorted out the game at Burnley, but since then we've done nothing. You know, I know we played really well at Spurs, but we've done nothing since we lost to Corey because we don't know how to play without him, and we don't have a player. We don't have a player who can fill that space. It's that simple for me. Decore he plays like a centre forward and he plays like a centre midfielder, and he occupies players. And without him, we are so stretched in that space. But and we have to get it sorted. Hopefully, he's back for the Villa game. Beto I would give a 5.5. Dan Juma came on again for pitch time. Touches 12, and again he's another one not in the box, nothing in the box. We just don't have enough players who get into the box at all, and that's why you end up with no shots on target, because you have no players who get into the box. There you go. I mean, listen, it's up to the manager's made a massive mistake at half time. He should have made changes then. He didn't. Would Beto and Don work? I don't know, because I've never seen it. We've seen it. We've seen it for about 15 minutes, haven't we? At Spurs. That's on the manager, isn't it? That is on the manager. The manager has to make that decision. He might make a decision like that on Thursday. He might say on Thursday he's going to play Beto and Chimiti, say, and leave Dom out completely. I don't know. I just know that this team just doesn't seem to function without Decore. It didn't last season when we lost him for 3 games, and it hasn't so far with him being out. And it's just the sooner he's back, the better. The better. So this is just one of those games that we just have to say is done and move on. Simple as that. So Dan Hume, what did I give Dan Hume? 5.5. I didn't do no. Yeah, tough day. And we have to just move on from it, learn from it, and hopefully improve on Thursday. But the most important thing is in 2 weeks, our next Premier League game, Aston Villa, going to be very, very tough. And we have to get back into the habit of picking up wins, picking up points, and getting away from that danger zone, because it's caught up with us in the last week or so. Yeah. There you go. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Make sure to check out Baz's videos. I'm sure he'll be angry, very, very angry. He might be a lot more angry than that I am. As I said in my last video, I wasn't really expecting anything today. I just thought we'd come through a very, very tough period and didn't look like we had anything in our legs. And it showed. And we were beaten by a team who I think are better. I think Wolves are a better team than us anyway. I really do. I think they're just a better team. And we're a team that functions on hard work and organisation, and we've lost that organisation because the Corey's not in the team the way we play. And I just don't think we don't think we had the legs to work as hard as they did today, and we've been beaten, and we have to put it behind us now. There you go. Anyway, there you go. Yeah. So make sure you check out Baz's video as well. Yeah. I'll see you all later.